what's up everybody? Welcome to my channel. Thanks for clicking. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use this cool log splitter. I've never used one before. I've always been super curious, and I've had the opportunity to finally get my hands on one, and I'm going to show you how it works. I'll give you a tour. We're going to be splitting several logs together. Super cool, so buckle up. Let's go for a ride. Oh baby, we got an exciting video for you today. We've got all these logs that we need split and cut. And if you're doing this with an axe or a wedge, you are a sucker or a weenie like me. Anyway, we've got an opportunity to use this bad boy, a professional log splitter. Look at it in all its glory and sexiness. We're gonna be doing this to the wood here. We've got pretty good sized pieces of lumber from a fallen tree. We're going to be putting it in here, and check this out. It's got this blade. Look at that. Solid steel, baby. It's going to come down using this hydraulic pump. Now, don't ask me the ins and outs of this. I have no idea. I'm a kid in a candy store today. This is awesome. We got a 4-stroke motor, though. Kind of like a lawnmower. Starts right up. We'll be doing that. Straight gas, and this is a towable, trailerable log splitter. Maybe they all are. I don't know. This is a serious piece of equipment. Definitely need eye protection and ear protection. So let's glove up and get started. By the way, welcome to the channel. Do lots of home projects around the house, saving you time and money. Click that subscribe button. I put out videos regularly. Like this video and share this with somebody that you know. And if you want to make your own YouTube channel and turn your hobbies into real cash every month, check out my course. You can click the link in the description below. So it's towable, but you can also just pick the darn thing up. I mean, it's not light by any means, but you can, move it around flat driveway and space. And this is kind of our setup. If you can see here, right outside of our driveway, we've got the cars out of the way, and we are ready to rock. Now, this thing does tilt all the way on its end like this, so you can operate it in a vertical position. And let's get it started up here so you can see kind of what this sounds like. And we're gonna first be testing it in the vertical position. It's pretty simple, not rocket science at all. You put the log right in between, right on the ground, and then kind of pull this lever, and the hydraulic pump will force this blade into the downward position, thus cutting your log in half, right? Super simple, and it's surprisingly passive as a piece. I mean, it's like I said, a heavy-duty piece of equipment, but it's not like there's a lot of popping or bursting happening. It's very smooth and kind of slow. Check it out. Just kind of slices it right down the middle, and you want to go with the grain, not against the grain or perpendicular to the grain. It needs to be parallel to the grain. Here's a shot again in slow motion for the vertical shot. And we are going to be soon tilting this up in the horizontal position and determining which one is better based on, of course, my opinion. So here it is, smashing that. We'll get it kind of straight, clean cut right down the middle. Pretty cool. But as you can see from the images here, and as you'll see in a second, the wood has a higher probability of slipping out of position because gravity is forcing those pieces of wood downward as opposed to in a resting position. You'll see what I mean here in a second. Let's get some of this wood here. Got a lot to do today. We've got a couple of big piles like this from a fallen tree. And this is going to take probably at least a couple of hours to do with a couple of breaks here. See, look at that. It has to be positioned just right and held into position. So not liking that as much. So you can see there to start it up, pretty simple to do. Now we're going to kill the engine and then put it down in its horizontal position. We saw this earlier in the video. This is kind of its default trailerable position. And you don't need to lock it in position when it's up. But when you push it down like this, there's a pin on the other side here. Let me get a better view. Put the camera over there. Yeah, that pin will lock and unlock, holding it into place. So you can see with the unit in, I'll fire it up here, with the unit in its horizontal position, gravity is pulling the log downward, and of course it's in its resting position. So less likely for slippage that we saw earlier in the vertical position. But anyway, you take your piece of log here, and we obviously cut this up with a chainsaw prior to, and so now we're splitting it. So you need a chainsaw if you've got like a huge branch. Cut it up into certain sections. You want to measure which side, how long you want each section to be before. I recommend that, so you don't have a bunch of random lengths. But then you put the piece in the chute, and you pull the lever, and boom. Now this does have some potential dangers. Piece of wood, very heavy piece of wood, can fall out, crush your toes. There is possibility of it snapping if you've got a twisted, warped piece of wood, and it could pop up and hurt you. So you definitely want to wear eye protection, ear protection. It's got a kind of a lawnmower sound, and if you're doing this for a couple of hours, you want to have protection on. I recommend 2 people, one to position the wood and the other to operate it. It's going to make things go a lot faster, and you might even find a little buddy to help you out. We came across some termites, and we inspected basically each piece of wood. You'll get a good visual of everything that you're cutting. And so a couple of them have termite damage, and we're going to make sure that these pieces are stored outside, away from the home, not even close to the home. And we'll just kind of let those little guys be. You can certainly spray something on there if you want. Yeah, you should probably spray something on there. I don't think termites hanging outside your home even is a good thing. But here's another view in slow motion of what that looks like. And there's a learning curve to it. It's not crazy difficult at all, but soon you'll kind of get into a rhythm of where the best orientation should be for the person who is positioning the wood into the chute. And you'll need a good communication system too, because it's loud. You'll both have earmuffs on. So use some hand signals. Stop, wait, go, good. And another hand signal for, does this wood, is it sized correctly, or do we need to split it again? So come up with some finger motions. Have some fun with it. Put on some country music too, because this feels kind of hillbilly. No offense to country music. I love country music. But splitting logs on a Saturday afternoon, I don't know. It's very fitting. We had a great time. Anyway, some more visuals here and some more tips on the way. So hang with me. We're gonna increase the size of the logs here. You can see it increasing in diameter. How many inches of diameter do you think this log splitter can handle? This is a 28-ton log splitter. And basically, from what I'm seeing, and after a couple of hours of using this thing, there's probably not a limit on the diameter of your log. Whatever you can lift up there and hoist up there, you can see the back position is solid steel. So as long as there's a good lip, in other words, you can see right there, it's not going to push off the edge. There's probably no limit to the diameter of the branch or the tree trunk or whatever it is you're splitting here. So let's get the tape measure out. This one's pretty good size. We actually had one a little bit bigger. This one, it measures 14.5 inches in diameter. We had one that measured 15.5 inches in diameter. And this log splitter, well, let's take a look and see. What do you think? Here we go. Let's get that lever moving. And look at the blade. Not even close to reaching the top of that trunk. But look at it. It just handles it. Now this is redwood oak. It is highly dense, pretty heavy, pretty strong stuff, and it is just crushing it. No pun intended there. Well, it's actually not crushing, it's splitting, but you get the point. There's a lot of pressure going into this. Amazing. So kind of just like butter. Let's get a slow-mo shot of this bad boy in action. So cool, so cool. Just handling it. Look at that, right down the middle. So the blade doesn't actually have to be the same size diameter as the diameter of the tree trunk. It'll just need a little bit, and it'll pretty much cut it in half. If it doesn't, you'll need to back it out, rotate it, and then try it again from a different position, and you can cut these things up all day long. So it's a pretty amazing tool. You know, you get your rhythm. Like I said, you can see the wheelbarrow back there. Have a wheelbarrow next to you, so you a pretty good size one, so you can put all the, you know, appropriately sized cut pieces of wood into it, and then wheel it to wherever you're going to be storing the wood for the duration. And you'll want to tarp it up, make sure it's nice and dry. It takes forever for this stuff to dry out, but it should dry out a little faster if it is in smaller pieces like that. Or you can keep it inside of the garage if it's not infested with termites. Look at those little guys. Run, run, run. Anyway, we finally did it, and this was a cool tool. Hopefully that you've enjoyed this video and it's helped you out a little bit. Thanks.